Hey everyone, this is my review of Charmed, Season 1, Episode 3, called Sweet Tooth. And basically what this episode is about is that the girls are put through a bunch of witch lessons, but then when Macy discovers that there was a mysterious death that occurred in her lab, the girls decide to put a stop to the Harbinger once and for all. And this was a really great and interesting episode that had a bunch of really good moments to it, and it definitely did a good job of sort of developing the girls' powers as well as developing their ability to get to know each other more and work together better. I definitely like the 3 different stories that went on in this episode revolving around the girls and stuff like that, where with Mel, the big problem was that Harry saw her as using her powers sort of too chaotically and too much, in his opinion, that she could possibly give herself away. So that was fun with him putting this bracelet on her so that he could track every time she uses her magic. And he would like pop up and make comments and stuff like that. That was fun. And it was interesting, and it definitely is something that I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the future when it does eventually happen. Where Harry brings up that when Mel stops time, she needs to make sure that she's in the exact spot, in like the exact same position that she was before she stopped the time, because otherwise at some point someone's gonna notice that, hey, she changed in like a fraction of a second. So I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen when that eventually does come up. And I also did like how Mel is struggling with trying not to reveal herself as a witch to her girlfriend, but like really not wanting to do so, but she also hates that she's hiding this side of her from her girlfriend. And I definitely did like it with the one scene where Mel stops time to just like vent out all her feelings to her girlfriend, even though her girlfriend can't really hear it. And then when she's gotten all that out, she then restarts time and acts like nothing's wrong. So that was just a fun little moment in there that I really did enjoy. Then everything with Macy in this episode was interesting, with this episode very much being more about revealing a bit of Macy's past as well as just getting to know her as a character more, and I really enjoyed that. Where we learn in this episode that she went to this very private school where she was essentially one of 2 black girls at the school. So she very much had to fit into a bubble and fit into a role and stuff. And she essentially couldn't get out of that role without being heavily bullied and argued against and stuff. So she has lived in this bubble her whole life and is now struggling to try and figure out how to escape it. And that I found really interesting, and I definitely did enjoy learning that bit about her character and stuff. And then Maggie's whole storyline in this episode was just sort of like a fun little side thing, where she's continuing to try and befriend this sorority and stuff. And in order to do so, she decides to help them get around the alcohol ban at the school by deciding to throw the sorority's Halloween party at her house. And to do so, she uses magic to make her house look prettier and better and stuff like that. And that was just a lot of fun with how much she uses magical spell and stuff. And then what happened once the sort of repercussions came around for the spell and bad things started to happen to her instead. Then everything with the Harbinger and stuff was fun, with the girls working to try and figure out who the Harbinger is and discovering that if they use a bunch of really sugary treats and stuff, they could possibly have the Harbinger reveal themselves, because the Harbinger has like a weird sort of reaction, almost allergy to sugar. So they keep like passing around all these sugary treats and stuff to try and find the Harbinger. But luckily the Harbinger is way smarter than that it doesn't go according to plan. And I loved the scenes with the Harbinger and stuff when it actually is Halloween, So the Harbinger like stopped trying to hide behind like a human mask and stuff now and just fully goes monster and stuff because everyone believes that, oh, the girl's just in a really good costume instead of is an actual monster. And that was just really fun with all like the little moments with that. And I also enjoyed for the scene of the girls working to try and like prevent the Harbinger from getting into the house, but instead they end up almost trapping the Harbinger inside the house instead with a bunch of people. And how the girls actually eventually stop the Harbinger and stuff was interesting, but I didn't like it so much for the fact of it showing that the girls are still refusing to work together, because how they ended up stopping the Harbinger was that Mel decided to go and like put her two sisters in danger with this very powerful spell that could have killed them, just so then she could stop the Harbinger. And instead the girls should have worked together more than what they were doing, and that really bugged me because that seemed so dumb that Mel was just willing to put her two sisters' lives in danger to stop this one monster. Then I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in the future now that the Harbinger is essentially living in the girl's attic. And that just seems like that's going to be a cause for problems in the future and stuff. And I'm really interested and excited to see what's going to happen in the future because of that. And then just overall, this was a really entertaining and good episode. That was a very, very fun sort of Halloween episode. And I'm very interested to see what's going to happen in the future with how everything went in this episode. And just, yeah. So that's my review of Charmed, Season 1, Episode 3, called Sweet Tooth. So, yeah. Bye!